Hey everybody, welcome to Post to Post. My name's Neil, and yeah, we're finally announcing the winner for the DNA contest, the NHL DNA contest. Before Christmas, I think it was early December, I released the contest announcement, just telling everyone the rules, the regulations, how to enter, all that good stuff. So if you haven't seen that, just to give you a quick summary. So basically, I had the idea of kind of reinventing NHL teams, and I wanted to give people the option of choosing whatever NHL team they wanted. So pick a city or a state. You know, they're not the Denver Avalanche, they're the Colorado Avalanche. So you could reinvent technically a state, I guess, but taking a current NHL team and changing the DNA from the beginning. If this team could enter the NHL back when it originally did, and it wasn't called this, what could it have been called? And I wanted to give a prize that was DNA specific because I have just recently done my DNA through Ancestry, and I've posted those videos on the channel. If you haven't seen them, please go check them out. And yeah, so I got an Ancestry kit here, still in the plastic, still wrapped, and the winner is going to get their own, or this Ancestry DNA kit to be able to test their DNA and learn a little bit more about themselves. So not really a super typical hockey contest or design contest, but it's one that means a lot to me because I had so much fun going through my DNA and learning more about myself and my history and where I came from. So let's learn a little bit more about the NHL and what teams could have been, basically. There were over 55 accepted entries into this contest, over 100 and I think it was 193 total entries, but there are so many disqualifications. If you submitted something and you do not see it in this video, you either stole artwork and it wasn't original, it wasn't yours. You didn't attach anything to your email, so I didn't even get in a submission from you. I just got like your email basically, and there were so many that came in I couldn't keep up. So I didn't see them until last night, a week after the deadline. So sorry, but you didn't have anything in your email, or those are basically the two. You stole artwork, or I didn't actually get your submission. But I've narrowed it down to the top 8. So I've created a top 8 of the 55. I've got some honorable mentions as well, and then everything else that was accepted within the 55 and is not a part of the top 8 or not part of the honorable mentions is going to be shown at the end. So you might be able to see your artwork there at the end. But I'm going to start off with the honorable mentions. So these aren't in the top 8; these are just outside of the top 8, and these are in no particular order. But I just wanted to give a quick shout out on a couple of these. So let's start off, and hold on, actually, there are 11 of these. Let's start off with the Carolina Reapers. Pretty cool name. Everyone knows the Carolina Reaper, the new pepper, whatever, that was invented in 2013 or 12 or whatever it was. I've never had one, and I don't think I ever would. I don't do well with spices, but anyway, I think it was it Connor who drew this one, and it's awesome. I mean, look at the detail and the shading on the top of the hood there, and that intense face. Like this would be an awesome logo on the front of a jersey. I really like this logo. Not sure about the name though. It's maybe a little bit too evil, but I do like it. Next, this was done by Declan, I think it was, and it's the New York Empire. So the Empire State Building with a hockey stick on the top, I thought that was pretty cool. But really, this is about the name. The honorable mention goes to the name. The New York Empire is just such a simple name, but it's just perfect. Like there should be a team called the Empire versus the Canadians, or the Empire versus the Maple Leafs. I just really like that name. So Declan, good job on picking an awesome name. Next is Dominic's submission, the Nashville I can't even say it. Nashville Musicians. Really creative logo here. The bottom of the mic, the mic arm is it kind of turns into a hockey stick, but the tape on the hockey stick is the frets of a guitar, and then you've got some guitar picks on there as well. And the secondary logo is really cool. This could totally work, and it makes sense. It's super applicable to Nashville. I just thought maybe it was just a little bit too cheesy, and was maybe, I don't know, it's just not really intimidating, I guess. I prefer more intimidating, or I was going to use the word historic. That doesn't even make sense. Not historic. Just, I guess, intimidating. Just, this doesn't really intimidate me that much. It's super respectful. It makes sense for Nashville, but just from a hockey perspective, I'm not sure. Next up, Hunter. He did the New York Transit, which I thought was just, it's not the greatest name in the world. This isn't the greatest logo in the world, but it makes sense. Like Transit is actually kind of a cool name for a hockey team. You know, they transition up the ice, and New York is known for its transit system, whether it's subways or buses or yada yada yada. This makes full sense. So good job, Hunter. I like the name Transit. Next up, next honorable mention is the Winnipeg Jackals, and this was done by Jason Ronaldo. We actually looked at Jason Ronaldo's couple of his actually not just a couple, 32 shoulder patches recently on the channel. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But he's come up with this one, and I thought it was an interesting name. The Winnipeg Jets, you know, they came back to Winnipeg from Atlanta, and they couldn't be called anything else but the Jets. They had to be called the Jets, which is amazing. But I think Jackals is also a pretty cool name. I felt like maybe the yellow wouldn't work in there because with I don't know this I felt maybe a little bit out of place. I guess I'm really happy with the way or the direction that the Winnipeg Jets went with all their branding and stuff. So I felt like maybe the yellow was just a little bit too different, but I do like the originality here in the take. I'm going the wrong way. Next up, this one's done by Christian. Very good presentation here. We're looking at the Carolina Whales, which, I mean, the Hartford Whalers moving on to the Carolina Whales. It does make sense. The colors are actually fantastic. It looks. I think most people probably won't like these colors because they're a little cartoony, but it is something a little bit different. But I think the stylization of the numbers and the logo itself it reminds me of like the Teletubbies or something. So maybe just not quite mature enough for the NHL. But I do really like the creativity here. And next, the next honorable mention is the Colorado Rush, and this was done by Logan, I think it was. Colorado colors, based on some state flag stuff, based on some other historic things and franchises in the state of Colorado, and then an interesting take on the actual sea itself, which you see in the state flag, and making that into a clock and then calling it the Rush, and just a really really intelligent design. This maybe could have worked. And the next one is by Marissa. This drawing is unbelievable. Like, this is absolutely incredible. This is the intimidation that I'm talking about. Can you imagine seeing this on the front of a jersey? That's really cool. But I think the name that she chose behind this is kind of threw me off a little bit. Boston Band. I'm just not sold on the name Band. I think her reasoning and stuff behind it was great, but Boston Band. I just keep thinking Band-Aid or something. I don't know. I like the approach. I just maybe would have chosen a different name. But absolutely brilliant drawing. Next, this one's by Sean. It's I can't even say that. I really just wanted to put this up here to give full props to the logo. I love this logo. It is so good. Maybe a little controversial because of everything that's going on right now, but regardless of that, this is very good. I like this a lot, Sean. Well done. Next is by Thomas. This is the Ottawa Air Force. That name makes so much sense. That's awesome. I really like that. And then the drawing here is unbelievable. There's so much detail in this logo. It looks a little bit more like a shoulder patch to me, and it is so detailed it might be a little bit hard to see on a jersey itself from far away, but still really good drawing here, Thomas. I really really like this. I can tell you put a lot of effort into this, and keep up the good work. And then the last honorable mention goes to the Dallas Stallions, and this was done by Vincenzo. I'm not sure what. I think it's Vince. Anyways, I like this approach because Dallas, man, I kind of feel like they should have used the Texas State flag colors, and this is using them, but in a different way because called the Stallions now. You've got the horse on there, the outline of Texas State. This is pretty cool. I like that. So that's all the honorable mentions. So let's move into the top 8, and I have ranked these, although it's a pretty loose ranking. Don't get too hung up on this one. Okay, starting off with number 8. This is the top 8. Starting at number 8, I've put the Dallas Mockingbirds. This was done by Sam. Wow, presentation, Sam. This is unbelievable. Logo, knocked it out of the park. A mockingbird isn't really an intimidating creature or bird, but the logo that you've created here makes it intimidating, and I think that's what's special. So I really really like the logo, and you threw in this jersey here just as an extra, which is great. I appreciate the extra effort here. That's pretty cool. I love the colors. The colors totally make sense because we just talked about it with the Texas State flag. Nice logo, but I'm kind of hung up on the name Mockingbirds. Dallas Mockingbirds. It almost feels too long or something, or it's not that it's difficult to say, but there's just no. I don't know, there's maybe no flow to it. So really, this comes down to kind of the name. Number 7, I put the Minnesota Great Wolf. This was done by North Flow Designs. Wow, again, presentation, like, you guys, I'm blown away, seriously, every time I do one of these contests and you guys come up with these amazing, not only designs, but the way that you present them is truly professional. So great job here, North Flow Designs. I really like the logo. Not totally sold on that kind of braided material or chain kind of going around. I find it almost a little bit too busy and distracting. The colors chosen are wonderful, absolutely perfect. But the best part about this, to me, is that secondary logo up above on the top left. I don't like word mark logos. You guys know this. That is one of the best word mark logos I've ever seen in any sports in the history of my life of being involved in sports. It's so good. I absolutely love it. Great job. I think the overall aesthetics of this are pretty great, but I do like what the Minnesota Wild have done with their design. Okay, number 6, I put the Colorado Owls. This was done by Nick Stella. Nick Stella has been featured on the channel a couple times. Very, very talented artist and designer, and this is no exception here. Absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. The Owls is a cool name, Colorado Owls. The Owls, to look at, aren't really that intimidating. They're a little odd looking, but they are predators. They are intimidating. So it is represented here quite well in this logo. I think was maybe a miss for me. And by the way, the colors are perfect. Love the colors. The bottom of the O, I don't know, there's just something going on there that it just loses me. I'm not sure if it's the shape or I'm not sure. It does lose me just a little bit. Number 5, the only hand-drawn one in the top 8. This was done by Dan. And Dan is a big Red Wings fan, and he decided to go with his Red Wings and redesign them, and he's chosen the Detroit Mustangs. Bold approach, but it does kind of work. Really interesting design here, implementing the Mustang or the horse into the D, and you think, oh, well, these aren't Detroit Red Wings colors. But seeing Detroit with these colors, with that light blue, kind of makes sense. It feels fine because of the other Detroit professional team, the Detroit Lions, I think it is, that uses a similar shade of blue. So I do think this works, and I think this was a really, really good hand-drawn and creative attempt, Dan. Good job. Number 4, I put the Minnesota Stags, and this was done by Sam. That logo is so good. It is amazing. This one really comes down to the name, Stags, Minnesota Stags. I'm getting caught up on the word Stags, and there's another one coming up too that you'll see. But the logo itself is literally perfect. The colors are perfect. The shading is perfect. Just everything about this is unbelievable. I really, really love it. It's one of the best logos I've ever seen. In third position, I put the Carolina Pilots, and this was done by Carlo. Great job, Carlo. You're using the Carolina state flag colors. The shape is minimalistic. It's respectful. It's military in a way. The font is so cool. I love the font, and you can see the P there for Pilots. This is a very good minimalistic design. This would totally work in the NHL. 100% believable. I felt maybe it was a little bit too close to the Washington Capitals colors. I felt like if Carolina did kind of come into the league, that they wouldn't really, if they were to come into the league again, and this was all the way back in 2000 or whatever it was, they wouldn't go with red and blue just because of the Washington Capitals and maybe some other teams in their division. So although they do use red, I think maybe this design, if it was done with red and black, or maybe just a whole new color design, but I understand what you're going for. The Carolina state flag, or the North Carolina state flag, uses these colors. So I get where you're going. Maybe just a little bit too close to Washington, though, for me. And number 2, I put the Chicago Stags. So the second stag design we've had in here. And again, it comes down to name. This design itself is so good. The creativity is unbelievable here. And this is by Trevor. The primary logo, which is the stag, forms the shape of a C for Chicago. The antlers are basically a piece of a stick. And then the secondary logo in the bridge of the nose that moves up into the forehead. You can see that it's creating the shape of the Sears Tower, which is now I think called the Willis Tower. And down below in the word mark, which looks like an antler, but you can see the C and then the S for Chicago Stags. Just the creativity is unbelievable, and I love the colors. We need more purple in the NHL. So Trevor, awesome job on this. I really, really like the design. Like graphically, this is incredible, absolutely incredible. I'm just really caught up on the word stags, and I don't really know why. I don't have a reason. It just doesn't really sound great to me. Chicago Stags, Minnesota Stags. I don't know. It just doesn't sound. The word stags, I'm just getting caught up on. So number one, the winner of the DNA contest. Boom, boom. Here we go. It is the Vancouver Navigators by Jesse. Jesse, in my opinion, knocked this out of the park. I looked at all these, I ranked them, and then I sent all of the designs off to a group of friends of mine, and I said, okay, pick your favorites. And I think every single one of them chose this one as their favorite. So I felt like maybe I was in the minority. I would be in the minority, hypothetically, when I did my initial ranking, but I confirmed that I wasn't, based on at least my friends. And I didn't tell them anything. I didn't say, hey, this was my favorite. I just want to know their opinion, and they all chose this one. So, I mean, what's not to like about this? The colors are so good. A little bit close to the Colorado Avalanche, but different shades of blue, which is great. So you get the maroon, the light blue, and then the navy blue. The logo is very minimalistic, very simple, but it's perfect. The name Navigators makes sense for Vancouver. It's a port city. And so put all that aside and just hypothetically think of the situation where the Vancouver Canucks don't exist and the Vancouver Navigators do. Like right now, we've got the Vancouver Navigators in the NHL. It's a cool name, by the way, too. And then the Seattle Kraken come into the league, which they are. And then you have a rivalry and a matchup of the Kraken versus the Navigators, the battle of the sea, the battle of the ocean. So that's not why it's number one. It's just a side plot. But the design itself speaks for itself. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the best creations that I've seen in a long, long time. I really, really like this, Jesse. So congratulations. You have won your own Ancestry DNA kit. I'm really curious to see about your DNA. I'd like to learn more about you. So if you do this and you send it away and you get it back, if you don't mind, please share it with me. I'm always curious to see people's results. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you everyone who participated. I love doing these contests and just having fun with this stuff. Seeing so much creativity from you guys. You guys are so talented. It's unbelievable. The hockey community is filled with such talent, and I'm very appreciative that I get to experience that firsthand and share it with you guys as well. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you, everyone watching, everyone who is subscribed, everyone who likes this video, who watches the channel daily or at least weekly. I really appreciate you. We're gonna do another contest soon. I'm thinking about maybe if the NHL team had a 33rd team enter the league, which is not going to happen. But hypothetically, if it was the Quebec team that was chosen, what's the name? What's the logo? That's kind of what I'm thinking about. Don't go design it and don't go send it to me. I'm not even sure if I'm going to do it yet, so please don't waste your time. Just give me your feedback. Do you like that idea? Do you think I should do something different? I'm in a problem where financially I can't really afford a lot of prizes right now, so I have a couple of things, but they're not like super amazing prizes, just more minor prizes. So I'm not sure if I should wait to get some better prizes, or if you guys don't really care, just want to participate and just win a minor prize. It would be a hat or a shirt or something like that. But anyways, let me know. I appreciate you. This was a ton of fun. Congratulations again, Jesse. Everyone applaud Jesse in the comments. And even if you disagree with the winner, let me know your favorite down below in the comment section. Yeah, hope you're having a great day. And the video will end with the other submissions and a slideshow playing on the screen. Hope you guys are having a really good Super Bowl Sunday, and I'll catch you later. Adios.